I mentioned this last week or 2 weeks ago, that I think a great tool, if you want to go through a lot of stocks, is you got to get an iPad. And I have an older model. I mean, this is probably 3 years old, but they actually make even bigger ones, which would help if you want to go through a lot of stocks in a very short period of time. This is the example of what you can do. And I've got a bunch of different lists that I bring up. These are my favorites. These are the lists that I like going through over the weekend. And you can see some of them I don't look at every single week, but down at the bottom is the MarketSurge 250. And so I just hit that. And if you look at the sort order up here, right now during the week, I like to just sort it by price change so I can see which stocks are up the most, which stocks are down the most. And I mean, even right now, you can see, man, that's Twilio. Didn't I? We just mentioned that's up 3.7% breaking out. And then there's a Gildan, which we also mentioned. And here's some of the other ones that are up the most. And you can see how quickly you can go through because you're getting four stocks on a screen. And the most important part, the way I can go through a lot of stocks is I'm really looking at the last couple of months of action. And I mean, I've looked at that Jefferson Capital in the left-hand corner. That's a beautiful looking little cup and handle there over the last couple of months. But I don't know anything about it. But what I can do is then I can just tap on Jefferson Capital and up comes, well, it's a newer issue. And up comes the information on that. And let's see, I don't know why it's not coming up, but oh, there it is. I can then bring out the left side panel, get the description, earnings, and all that. And I can even I don't want to go there, but I can hit the website of the stock and go right to the website. Um, so anyway, a good way to go through. And and so what I usually do is I change the sort order on the weekend, and I like to look at um, I go through where's industry group rank, and I sort it in order of the strongest groups in the market first. Let's see, but that's not right. Let's see, try this again. Yes. So here are the strongest stocks, and I like to see the strongest stocks in the market. And this is a list that it's usually 300 stocks. Like, yeah, it's 300 stocks right now. But these are the 300 strongest stocks based on, earnings and price performance. And then I also have them sorted by group. And so, boy, if you don't have time, this is a great way to go through 300 of the strongest stocks. And almost every week I go through all these stocks. And so right there at the beginning, you get those are the top two stocks in the fiber optic area. And then it starts going into, you can see how many biomedic uh, biotech stock there are in this list. And it goes, I think it just keeps on going. Uh, yeah, medical, biotech. So that also gives you a good clue to, hey, maybe I should be in biotechs, or maybe I should find a biotech ETF. A few other things. That's so I go through these stocks, and what I do as I go through them, if I see something that I like, um, excuse me, let me get this. See, I have the IBD ready list there, the IBD watch list. Um, I have something I call a data monitor, and this is I put these in. I have a whole list of stocks that I'm constantly looking at closely, and I bring these up. But as I'm going through these stocks, and I try to go through hundreds, if not, this week I got to about 750 stocks in the database. But if I see something I like, let's just say this EYPT, I just hit the little flag button under the eye point. You'll see it's right next to the name. I just hit it there and you can see I have Zoom communications also hit because then at the end of the day or at the end of on Sunday evening when I'm trying to get my final list together, then I go up to my favorite list and I hit flag symbols. You can see three up from the bottom. And so then these are all the areas. I mean, sometimes I put groups in there, but these are all the stocks that that I'm really looking at closely. These are some that are on my watch list for for the week. There's SanDisk. SanDisk is hitting that 50-day now. I want to keep a close eye on that. Maybe that's going to go again. And I'm constantly, if I don't like something like Silicon Motion Tech, that looks like it's broken down. So I'm taking that off the list and I just hit that little green flag and out it goes. And so I go through again as many stocks as I can. I flag them with that green symbol. And then I bring up this flag symbols list. And then I come up with my final list for the week. So great source, great way of getting through hundreds and hundreds of stocks. And as Scott has always said, how many rocks can you turn over? If you turn over 10 rocks, well, you only get 10 things to look at. But if you turn over 300 or 400, and I can go through a list like after church on Sunday, my we go to a place that's like 50 minutes away. My wife drives, I get my iPad pad out, I link it to my phone, and I can get through 300 stocks easily in the hour that we're driving home. So um, just something that I think is very, very useful. And I'll put a plug in for this. If we could get this on the desktop too, because, an iPad's only this big, but, my desktop is, I don't know if that's, a couple feet and couple feet high. I mean, we could get 10 stocks or more on one large screen. So, but a faster way to get through a lot of stocks. So, does anybody got any, you guys got any comments or maybe there's questions that people have in using this?
People had to know like the instructions for how you get the four on the iPad,
Oh yeah. Yeah. So, here's the layout view. So you can see 2 by 2 on an iPad. 2 by 2 is good. I mean, if you go start going 3 by 3, they get a little small, but you can switch it from daily to weekly, so you can kind of get a bigger picture. And if you like that, it's whatever you're used to. I like the 2 by 2, but you can even go this way. You can go you can get the daily on the left side, the weekly in the middle, and the
Mhm.
monthly over there. And so here's Sienna. So you got the daily Sienna. Sienna is pulling back on top of her previous base. That's good to know. But then you look at the weekly, it still looks pretty extended. And monthly, it's had a great move. But it's it's another way. Here's 2 by 2. Well, yeah, that's going back to the back to that. You can do this. You can get the daily and the weekly. So lots of different ways you can see it. So if you just want to see the daily, there's there's Sienna down at the bottom on the daily, and then you get the weekly. A
That's
lot of
great.
great ways that you can use this, and I think it's yeah, a time-saving device. So if you don't have that much time, if you can get an hour in an hour to, or an hour and a half on Sunday. That's when I like to do all my work, a lot of work. And then during the week, you can go through lists very, very quickly to see what's going on.
So as you're going through these, there's some questions. How do you add them to a stock list as
Okay.
you're,
So what you can do is you see the up in the right-hand corner, you go edit, and you can let's
Just flag them. Is that
Yes,
it?
you'll see when I hit energy coal that little checklist that comes up,
Hmm.
and I know how to delete them. Usually, I usually add a lot of my stocks on my desktop. There's a little tab up where I have add to list.
Mm.
Um, I know how to take the list off, but let's see, oh wait, I'm sorry, add to list.
Right
Oh
at the
yeah, there
top
you go.
left.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. And so then here's, different lists that I can throw on. There's my data monitor, and I can hit that, and so I guess and it's added to that list. So, but I guess you can call Scott, or you can call some of the people in the background who work for MarketSurge, and they can help you out with all the little details of that.
That's great. No, thank you so much, David.
And one
Um,
other point,
yeah,
David, that
yeah,
that you had made
What were we
when we
talking?
were practicing this test is like when you have your sort, you actually sort them in terms of I think the higher relative strength rating with when you have two stocks in the same group,
Yeah, yeah,
two or more,
yeah, you can do a couple of sorts. Let me just go. Let me just change this.
right at the top right, you have that sort order, for
Yeah, so you
instance.
can see here.
Yeah.
Right now, I have it sorted by industry groups, but then there's a little plus mark, and you can actually add another sort. So then I add to off high. So I want to see the strongest stock, the strongest groups, and the strongest stocks that are closest to their highs. And but you can sort it by relative strength or by other things. There's one other list I go through, and I did this weekend. This is why I went through 700 stocks. Is that you can actually, when you go up here, you can actually even run screens off this. And so I have different screens that I under favorites, but I have something called daily graphs, and again, this is I should have brought them out, but I've got some. This goes way back, but if you used to take the hard copies of daily graphs, which then went into daily graphs online, which went into MarketSmith, which changed its name to MarketSurge, they were the printed product of the market of O'Neill and Company, and I wanted to see the same way that was calculate it. And so what I do is I've got this sort, and again, you can ask the guys at MarketSurge how to get this, but you can screen for it's a list of it's seeing more of the market. And it's 1,385 stocks you can see in the right-hand corner. And this, I have it sorted again by industry group rank and stocks off highs. And right there, you can see now I get not just two stocks in this group, which is the telecom fiber, but there's one, two, three, four. Let's see if there's so there's four stocks, and then it starts getting into the biotechs, and there's about 100 biotech stocks that are on this list. But that's telling you that that area of the market is very, very strong. Yeah, you had about you had about 160 biotechs, and then the next group is the data storage. And how many stocks? You got four, five, six. You have six of this data storage, whereas if you only looked at the MarketSurge 250, you only saw a couple of those stocks. So it just gives you a bigger view of all the stocks in a strong group.
Hey,
Um,
David,
yeah.
check this out. This
Oh,
is
there it is. Okay, there you go. That's and I
1999, January 8th, 1999. And so these are the charts that David used to
yeah,
line up, on a Saturday. right?
So you can see four on a chart, four on a page, and you can flip through those. And when you can see four, you can go through lots of stocks in a very short period of time.